Welcome to the January 13th Jail and Zones production user call. We have Anshnik, Vadia, and myself, Michael, so far. And I'm thinking we will try alternating between us as hosts. We'll work out the details over time. And Vadia's been working on LDAP. She gave an update of some of the changes they had to make and things they've learned and has a lovely bit of documentation that is linked here. So thank you for that. I started the week and with a rather big red alert that HPE systems have been not working with FreeBSD 15. I saw this first in October with pre-releases, and it's been tracked down and hopefully resolved on the 8th or so and MFC'd a few days later. So that's unfortunately something that didn't make it into the release, but hopefully gets into, if we're really lucky, the patch levels. However, you can't boot the OS, so you have to boot from something else and install something current. Anyway, another topic that is up is that people running TrueNAS Core are kind of uh, hitting a wall on what to do, such that I will be booting up my TrueNAS Core system. I do have clients still running them, and I am curious, what is it exactly that is keeping them from moving, be it them or zVault.io, moving to FreeBSD 14, 15, or 16? But neither here nor there. It's the time to document pool layout, boot environments, and there is some way to just auto parse the Samba config, etc., and just make a static system, which I've done manually, but I haven't done it in an automated way in any way. We talked briefly about WireGuard. And in the big picture, just heads up on that keeps coming up. I want to have these pinned topics. How do we check the MFA global checkbox to make auditors happy, etc.? There is a talk from the just published Asia BSDCon draft schedule with StunMesh Go. That could be interesting, and people are doing some pretty clever stuff with WireGuard. So let's just keep that conversation going. And I found that WireGuard tools was blowing out my resolve.conf when I stopped it. So that might be a bug. Dave is aware of it. And question on Trineg, what was that utility that safely and reliably and idempotently manages FreeBSD bootloaders and their updating? I don't think there's a thing. The docs are a bit weird, and I found that on a RAID-Z system, only one of the EFI partitions would mount. Perhaps the others are not even formatted. And if that drive were to fail, I presumably have a system that will not boot. Uh, any thoughts there? Or should we just get to that in the future when the time comes?
You want to do what?
Update FreeBSD
Idempotently.
bootloaders.
Oh,
In a
right.
perfect world, it sniffs the loader. It does a checksum. It says, "Oh, we know this one. That's out of date. Here's the new one." And it's just something other than that warning. Oh, you should probably update your boot blocks. Have a nice day.
Yeah, so because we're not in a perfect world, I'm using the second best option, which is making sure I have IPMI.
Yeah,
So,
exactly. And I had to
exactly.
grab an installer, boot to it temporarily for like the five
Yeah,
minutes to do the thing. But
yeah.
I mean,
And make
that
sure your
really could
Samba
be
is
better.
on so you can boot the ISO. Yeah, so
Exactly. So there's a
I
topic. It's a seed I want to plant, but if you have anything now, great. But over the coming months, I really want to see some progress there, and I will do my part.
I do love your idea of having checksums because since the boot codes are always the same, we technically should be able to just verify that the first X amount of sectors in a bootloader is the same, or like a file is the same if it's UEFI.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And I was surprised pleasantly that the like FreeBSD EFI loader and the boot x64 blah 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 with apparently the same file because the checksum's the
Yes.
same. So like,
Yeah.
oh, is that documented somewhere? Because I went through the various docs and didn't succeed. So I do want that on the radar. Heads up, I will continue to ask Jamie about the PID1 work. That was a patch from long, long ago that should allow for, say, System D in a jail. So he's aware of it. He's working on it. I look forward to that. Uh, Dave has a doc on side loading FreeBSD. I will compare my side loading notes to it. That is, you have a working system, you drop in the configs from that working system to something like a new boot environment. And looking back over the last 20 years, yeah, I set networking, I set passwords, I set a handful of things, the rest of which can be sorted after the system is booted and I have access to it. So I don't get too hung up on deep, complex configurations. And my opinion is if you don't understand your configuration, you probably shouldn't be operating a system. So he's obviously not moved to package base. I have a tool that does it with package base, but I found that going between, say, a 15 host and a 16 current boot environment didn't work, but it used to work.
On a side note,
Yes.
the Yan way of doing it is using reboot-r, which is also known as
Rerouting.
reroute.
Yes.
Yes,
Good point.
we found that to be very useful the last 2 weeks
Yeah.
because we keep modifying configurations such as net graph body and jail dependencies, which is finally working on 15. I'm sorry, everyone, that I kept it broken for like 3 years. Um, and it was very useful to do reboot-r every time we do a major change to make sure that the device is going to boot up properly. Because during the reboot-r, all of the interfaces go down,
Yeah.
all of the processes die. The only thing that we're not doing is rebooting the kernel. And on a fat supermicro, that's useful because you don't want to wait for supermicro half an hour to boot
Yeah.
up.
Any hardware to boot. Yes.
Yeah.
Great for slow. Yeah. It seems that the faster the server, the slower the boot, which
Yes.
seems counterintuitive.
Very counterintuitive. That's something that Oxide has solved amazingly well, by
That's
the way.
cool.
Like, yeah, they
Good.
boot their sleds in like less than a second. So,
Nice. Okay. So a topic to follow in the course of things. Speaking of zones, I thought I'd give ARM64 Gate a try. Uh, but I had trouble booting it with the completely off-the-shelf boot steps. But in reaching out, I bumped into a post by Mark Gilbert on the actual official builds of OmniOS for ARM. So I hope to give those a spin really soon. Now, here is the topic I want to get to, but you were somewhat easing into it brilliantly, Anjanik. So before we kicked off the recording, you were showing Jailer on
Jailer
a Mac.
CTL.
Yes.
Yeah.
Jailer CTL on a Mac. Go ahead and tell us about that.
Should I share my screen?
Sure.
Okay, so let's do that. Let's hope everything works fine. So the idea is very simple. Jailer runs only on FreeBSD, but Docker people like to run things on their Mac or their Windows systems or their Linux. And what they see is Docker on a remote host because Docker has a Docker-D that's always running. As a matter of fact, when you do Docker, it's just a client. It's always speaking to the server. So my idea was, well, we don't have a server for Jailer. So what can I do? Well, SSH seems to be the best option. So I made the Jailer CTL, which is comprised of a where is it? The Jailer CTL bin, a single shell script, large one. Well, not that large, 250 lines, but it's pure POSIX, so it runs on every machine. I swear to God, whoever is at GNU, please add -W to cut the BSDs. I've had them for 15 years. Why doesn't GNU? I have no idea.
Hmm.
The syntax is very simple. It's Jailer CTL, and there's a version because why not? Um, and then you can add a remote, like remote add, and you can specify a remote name like MM0. That's my Mac Mini at home. And then I can specify a username and a password. So in this case, it would be mm0.evn0.bsd.im. That's my home. And I can also use sudo. So it will use sudo right after logging in. I think this is the correct configuration for this machine. And it
Boom.
automatically prints the following, which is, what the machine it is, uptime, OS version, running version, userland version, Jailer version, architecture, CPUs, load, memory, Jailer directory, which is a ZFS dataset, and number of jails and how many of them are running. That's when you add a host, a remote in
Hmm.
Jailer CTL. Now, what happens underneath is very simple. In Jailer CTL, there's remotes, and in remotes, there's now two remotes, Bane, which is this one, and MM0, which is the one that I just added. So in the background, it creates, which it didn't right now, it creates a SSH socket for continuous command execution, so it
Oh,
doesn't
wait,
SSH
no
every
way.
time.
Okay.
Yeah, SSH has a feature where you don't have to initiate the SSH connection every time. It keeps it open in the background. So when you SSH again, it doesn't do the whole
The
re-authentication
whole
thing again.
what's the flag for that or otherwise or syntax?
Thank you. So
Yes,
that would be
please.
in jailerctl, bin jailerctl. And
Yes.
here's the SSH options. -Q for quiet. That's the connect timeout, connect persist. The timeout is, the timeout. The persist is how long it should be keeping running. So in this case, it would be 5 minutes. There's a control master, and the control path is in, /tmp, not my own TMP. I'm sorry. So it would be a /tmp jailerctl.remotename.ctl. Which
Could
means if I
could you
go to
drop
my
that in
TMP,
chat?
yes,
Thank
if I
you.
go to my
Why not? Hmm.
TMP, there you go, jailerctl mm0 control. The control is still running. So there's still an SSH process in the background that's keeping the connection up and running. There it is. So this is going to be running for 5 minutes if I don't reuse it.
Nice. And
Yeah, it's a very useful feature that's very much underused in such circumstances. So let's copy
yes.
that. And then what am I gonna do next? I'm gonna put it in the chat. Paste. The first line is the line number. You can ignore that, I
Yeah,
guess.
totally. Thank you.
So now if I do jailer-ctl list, it's gonna do jailer list on all of my machines, on
Nice.
all of my remotes. So on my I have AdGuard and UEFI. On Bane, I have the following jails. Syntax-wise, I only have one other feature, which is info. That's the only other thing that we have. So if I do info, a remote name, it's just going to print the regular info. However, there's also the run. So run, I specify a remote name, let's say mm0, and then I can do regular jailer commands like create and whatever I want to do with the regular jailer from my Mac, so I don't have to SSH into the
Yeah,
machines
totally.
every time. Or I can do run I can do console. Let's say, what was the one that I had at home? UEFI. And since I don't remember, I can just do the list, right? So it would be, yeah, UEFI 0. So I'm going to do run on mm0 console UEFI 0. So I went from my Mac inside of the jail in a single command, which is what I was the most excited about. I
That's
know it's a
very
child.
cool.
Yeah, I mean, it's a childish, useless thing, but it saves you a lot of seconds of suing and typing
Yeah.
passwords.
Yep.
And
Yep. Yep.
yeah. Likewise, if I do run Bane console LDAP 0 that we were just talking about, I'm going to go into our LDAP system. There we go. So yes, that's jailerctl. I think it needs a lot of love. I've been neglecting it for a while. But for me, the nicest feature is still probably this output. So I know exactly which machine has what. Now, the actual feature that I want to add is workspaces. So you'll be like, jailer workspace use ABI, right? So I wouldn't see my home server and my company servers and my ABI servers,
Hmm. Yeah.
ABI being the Armenian Bioinformatics, all in a single output. And I could be like, I want to use this specific workspace right now. Don't show all of the outputs. And then I can do like, jailer workspace use all and stuff like that. Another nice feature would be to do like jailerctl update, and then it would update jailer on some ends. There's a lot of things that
A lot of
I
things. Yeah,
can
that's
do here.
cool.
Yeah, but that's the overall idea of it. When I implemented the marketplace of apps on Jailer,
Did
which
or
would
will?
be,
Past tense or future
well,
tense?
we have just a proof of concept at the
Okay.
moment, which I'm sure that you would T4ATS. I'm sure that you would appreciate, I guess,
Well, that's the next
because
topic.
of yeah, because of the simplicity. Do I even have the actual example, or God forbid, it went somewhere into the abyss? Jailer, find grep jailer file. There we go. app0 vim. The idea is something like this, which setfsh, which is actually a shell script with a bunch of callbacks, right? Jailer
Yeah.
build, jailer health check, jailer logs. It's literally a shell function with anything that you need to execute it. It's a hook. It's a hook. I mean, yeah. trace restart as a custom command. I don't know. This is still something that needs some love. But that's the overall idea of
Okay,
it.
so if you slam in Postgres and set an administrative password, does that take place here?
Yes,
Okay.
exactly. So in
Uh,
build, it would be pkg install PostgreSQL, whatever. And also the set the administrative password. And then, that's pretty much it. I mean, that's all you would need. And for the health check, it would be sockstat grep, I guess, Postgres, or, service Postgres
oh,
my
I see. So
status.
you've defined something to do, and that could get fancy, like check a specific socket
Yes,
or ping it or do something.
yes,
Oh, cool.
yes.
Yep. Yes,
Yeah,
please.
that's the overall idea of it, right?
And
And
that's
the
a work in progress on this one laptop that is not backed up, or it is
That's a
backed
work
up.
in progress. I'm very much concerned about the syntax of all of this because this is a complete security risk because this is a script that you're running on your machine, right?
Hmm.
Or in a jail. But I mean, it needs some thinking. But I do prefer this compared to the Docker files and the Bastille files. I'm sorry, Bastille guys. I still prefer non-Docker file. The Docker file syntax makes sense for devs, not for ops.
You're saying Docker makes sense to devs, not ops?
Yes. Docker makes sense to devs, not ops. Yes.
Who,
Oh,
and is this the only thing you've seen for ops?
the following syntax makes more sense for ops because ops people write shell scripts. I just want the
Yeah.
shell script that I have on a random jail to copy and paste it here inside the function and call it a day, right? Instead of figuring out a whole, is it run or is it execute? Is it
Hmm.
is it a layer or a volume or whatever? Like I don't care about that. I just want to get things up and running. So yeah. Um, anyway, this is the overall idea of it.
So how would you
Uh,
describe the status? It's on one laptop, or it's hiding in a
it's a
repo?
it's a
Proof
proof
of
of
concept.
concept. It's a
Okay.
proof of concept. Yes. Sometime this year, I'll make sure that we finalize this. This is going to be very useful, right? When we do our LDAP upgrade in, let's say,
Funny
9
that. Yeah,
months,
exactly. It's
right?
like, oh,
So
hey.
like we have all of the scripts to get it up and running from backup to restore and everything. So that would be cool. That would be cool. Yeah. Instead of upgrading the jail, we'll just make a new jail with the same data. So
Cool. Anything
yeah.
else on that box?
Uh, funny you ask.
Anything to
Uh,
share in context?
jail-wise, not so much. There's some ZFS stuff that I've published a while back, which is oh yeah, wait a second. Of course there
Yes.
is.
Show and tell.
This is something that Jan and I have worked on. How did I forget about this? Prometheus client. No. Uh, let's do something. Find here, grab ZFS exporter. No, ZFS, just ZFS. Maybe. I'm just gonna do the right way. Git clone.
No, yeah, okay, go. Yeah. Good place to find your
uh,
code.
yeah, I know, right? GitHub.com. Will I remember this, or do I have to look it up? ZFS exporter. Ah, oh, bad. Well, PyZFS exporter. So I like this. This is a ZFX exporter for FreeBSD or any ZFS system. It's written in Python, but that's not the important part. This is just a script. The important part is these following files. There's a make file, which
Yeah.
uses stage user local bin, right? This creates a stage environment,
Yeah.
right? Then we install the script with the appropriate permissions into the staging environment, right? And then we use pkg create, which is like black magic, and I absolutely love it. It takes in two files, the plist and the UCL of the description. Let's have a look at the plist. It's the shorter one. P something something plist. There we go. It's the file, right? This is what we are going to install into the system. It's
Oh,
bin
okay.
ZFS exporter,
Yeah.
right? And the UCL is the interesting one, which is a package configuration. So name, origin, version, comment, maintainer, ABI, blah, blah, blah. The list goes on.
Yeah.
So, and more importantly, you can have the dependencies. But the very interesting part is that the dependencies don't have to be versioned. I had no idea about this.
Oh, interesting.
So like I don't have to specify Python
Yeah, exactly.
311.0 P4. Like I'm like, no, just lang Python is all I
Yeah,
need,
for
man.
some most cases.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
exactly.
And if I do make, it's gonna create a package, which is currently in TMP. And here you go, there's the package. So, file, py, it's a Z standard compressed data, which is free. And then I can do pkg add, and I can add the file into my wrong architecture, of course, because I have upgraded. Hey, we can do this. We can do this, right? So if I do vim, whatever that is, UCL, I can change the ABI from 14 to 15. Of course, I had no idea that I upgraded to 15. When did that happen? Am I actually on 15? I have no idea.
Yep, there you are. Yeah,
Make
well, cool.
pkg add tmp py something something, and it's like it's already installed. Well, fine, let's remove it first. I had no idea. Also, how is it installed if I didn't have the files? But sure. uh, Add again. There we go, it's done, it installed it. Pkg info of that package. uh-huh. Here's the actual info.
So are
And
you
then if
creating a package on the fly, or
I'm
that's only
creating
for
a
building
package
it?
on the fly, like no
Nice.
ports, directly binaries.
Yes.
Very useful for ops people, especially that in here you
Yeah.
can add things such as post install scripts,
Yes, exactly.
right? I am much interested in that. This is
Yes.
documented in pkg create
Ah,
as like how to create those, and then all of those pkg creates can be uh, uh, managed into pkg repo, which you give it, the repo path of all of the pkg creates, and it creates
yeah.
the actual repository that you can serve with nginx. Again, we're not doing Poudriere, we're not doing ports, all of
Yeah.
those made out of
Yep.
binary.
Just
And finally, PKG, apropos PKG also has man PKG. I want to say triggers, trigger, PK, not man, it's man. Okay, and the trigger, was it this one? No, not that one, not that one. I'm pretty sure, is it PKG keywords? Let's see, man PKG keywords. Yes, I think. No, yeah, there we go. Pre-install, post-install,
yes.
post-install, post-install Lua. So like you can run a
Exactly. Oh,
Lua
I have a
script.
topic there. Yes,
Yeah, a
yeah.
message. So all of those are documented in PKG keywords. So jails plus PKG plus not having Poudriere if you don't want to. Shipping binaries on the fly, like scripts. This is awesome for a bunch of
Yeah,
scripts
totally.
if you have bunch. Anyway, this was my second demo. I hope it's
Cool.
useful for
It is,
people.
and it's timely. So, anything else on
Yeah.
that box
Anything else on that box?
to
Let's
show?
see, just in case.
Just
NCO, nope, that's not it. We might have something else, but I'm gonna go SH JStat. It's useless, but it's cute.
yeah,
It prints GL info. Oh, this is written by Ozgur
Osgur.
Kazanchi.
Uh-huh.
He's a nice FreeBSD folk from Turkey.
Okay, cool.
He shared his script with me, which prints the GL's memory usage
Nice.
using aggregation of data, CPU usage, and
Cool.
other things like that. So, it's a useful script. I'll just share. I don't know if I can share the whole script, but I'm gonna put the script in a gist and share the gist.
Cool.
I'm gonna say gist.github.com. Let's
Uh,
call it jstat-sh.
you give him credit if it's in there.
Oh, he has it.
Awesome.
I haven't seen him in a while, but I'm pretty sure that he's doing cool stuff. And since he's very close, we should visit him one day in Turkey. Let's go back to Zoom. Zoom, why are you a nightmare? There we go. So that's my overall demo. I hope it's useful.
That's very useful. And again, it's in perfect context. Let me get this script in there
Yes.
and I will share some cool stuff. This I learned. Okay, share. Okay, So the script is in the doc for those who celebrate. Beach ball from Zoom chat. Okay, so we've been discussing all these parts and pieces and strategies and cool
Hmm.
things for ever. So let's make some decisions here for at least those present, and you actually showed your decisions, and let's go there. So you had a great summary. Hey, Docker file makes sense for dev, not ops. So I back in the day, I remember very much working on like IO cage jails, and I helped make a blog post
Uh,
after it was about to go
s-
away and disappear.
someone, someone in our group chat had a good comment, which is like, Docker is the linker for millennials or something
Oh,
like
that was me.
that.
Yeah, I found that. It's like,
Oh yeah.
yes, it's static builds for millennials.
Yeah,
Yeah,
static build for millennials. That's very funny.
yes, builds for. Yeah, that crossed my desk. I'm like, oh, that's right. So you called it jailer file, correct? That's your
Jailer file.
thing. Okay,
Yes.
cool.
Yeah.
So then, just in a playing dumb user, let me do a quick search for the options. And Google really likes to suggest Overlord Director and App Jail.
Hmm.
App Jail make jails.
Hmm.
Uh, and I'm like, okay, so I do not use WordPress. I do not want to use WordPress, but it's a great example of, okay, so someone wants to set up a thing. Well,
Hmm.
fine. What does the syntax look like? And thank you. Hence my questions on, well, if you create Postgres, where do you set the password in your strategy? And then people kindly showed the Bastille templates, and there is a nifty, I sure hope they maintain it, virtual machine, templates and the OS zoo and all sorts of things. But what is the FreeBSD way? And you may have answered that question, which is just a question, a matter of learning that's just of templates. Yes, learning your package command, learning all those little sub things that most people don't use, and then just creating packages to use entirely in-base tools rather than some dispatcher, manager, middleware thing, whatever. So, uh, pointing at this list, okay, fine. The example I gave was Postgres. If I click on Postgres, nothing happens. I guess I, okay. Maybe that's just advertising.
Maybe
Uh,
there's a link
I'm a
like the,
clicking.
I don't know.
Maybe it's elsewhere, or you do it from
Okay.
within the thing. So, but what is Bastille using? Do you know what's their syntax here? The templates, the actual under the hood templates. Let's take a look at
So yeah,
those.
it's that one. Yep, indeed. Yep.
Oh, we lost Bobby.
No, I'm guessing it's sleep time.
Yeah, okay, amen. Well, I don't mean lost in that regard. Jeez.
Okay.
Okay, so here we go. So let's just say we're a user who needs WordPress. We take a look. We database is a topic. Games, Minecraft server. Oh, okay. Well, first things
That's
first.
nice.
Uh, how are they organized?
I'm
Miss.
gonna guess
Oh,
I'm gonna guess it's in www
sure, let's take a look.
because I would put it there. Mm-hmm.
Apache,
Mm-hmm.
Caddy, and which naturally raises the question about dependencies because WordPress is
Yeah.
not a web server. It relies on web
Yeah.
servers.
Yeah.
So you WordPress,
WordPress.
TurdPress. Okay, so if I were some user and I want WordPress, so I do README, that's
So,
cool. Etsy,
okay.
how detailed is it? Oh, Bastille template target
Bastille
WordPress.
template target. Okay, so it means it's gonna run the Bastille file somewhere. Can you
Sure.
have a look at the Bastille file?
That would be this one, its own.
Yes,
Okay, well, let's see. I see that's not uniquely named, which is fine. It's just based on the direct.
that's fine.
Okay,
Yeah.
so what are we looking at? We are looking at package CP.
So these are the packages that's gonna. So this is not gonna work at the moment because these packages don't exist anymore, right? The minimum that
Oh,
we have is 8.3 or 8.2. The 7.4s don't exist anymore.
interesting.
Yeah.
So what language am I looking at? Or is that their own syntax or
So it's their
YAML or what?
own,
That's
but
their own
here's what we
syntax.
know.
Okay.
What we know is there's a user directory that's being copied.
Yep.
There's a root directory that's being copied. I guess it's on
Yep.
one level up. And then it's doing sysrc for MySQL, PHP, FPM,
Enable some stuff.
Nginx. Okay, and then it runs them. Okay, this
Uh,
is cute. This is
Bootstrap. So
nice.
now well,
And then
that's
it runs
very
a command.
straightforward, but then here's some heavy lifting. So Bootstrap WP. Okay, is that in the
Okay,
directory? Let's go up a
that
directory.
sh Should be. Let's have a look.
Let's
And the user
see.
one is also very interesting.
Uh, I clicked a while ago. Come on. Come on.
Come
Be
on,
good.
GitHub. It's
Oh,
so
oh, oh,
slow.
no, it's my
I thought,
laptop. No, GitHub's not to blame in this case.
come on,
Oh, here we
Dexter
go.
Hub.
Okay, so
Okay.
Dexter, exactly. So no, maybe. Let's look in root.
Yes. Yeah, that's the root. It's gonna copy
Oh,
that.
here we.
Okay.
Oh, but that
Oh,
looks
it
like
went.
everything. Oh,
No,
maybe
no,
I
no,
went
no,
too
no,
far.
no.
Sorry.
You
Let
just
me
went too far. Yeah.
browser trouble. Yay.
I
Okay.
got so far. Okay. Um,
Add card. No, I it clicked the wrong one. My bad. Let's try it
no
again.
worries.
Da di da di da. What do you expect? It's a lousy 64 gigs of RAM now. I mean, geez. Which I should sell.
You
Geez.
know, it might be easier to type the URL up there.
Yeah, no
Just,
kidding.
just,
Uh,
just set it to WordPress at the end.
you're not wrong. Let me just.
And yeah, yeah.
Oh,
Just go to the
that's
URL.
funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's very funny. Let me do that. Da di da di da. If indeed that was the actual name they use. Yes, thank you. So we go to root. Oh, I should put root there too. Da 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 da. Okay.
Okay,
Bootstrap
that's the script.
WordPress.
What
And as
does
a
this
shell
do?
script, what does this do? Oh, ooh, I'm going to even go super exciting here and get rid of all that noise. Okay.
Okay, so it copies a sample. It sets a
Wait.
username and a password.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay. And then it sets, what else does it do? It creates a database. We can see that, that's piped into
Mm-hmm.
MySQL. Okay, that's
Mm-hmm.
great. And for cleanup, it even removes itself. That's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, so for that question, how did we get here? Oh, okay, let's go check GitHub or hope we kept the thing around. And yeah,
Okay.
okay. Uh,
So now you want to have a look at the other folder, I assume.
I sure hope that's not used maliciously. We're trusting this to slam stuff into there.
Then
Fine.
again, that's fine because this is all running in a jail.
Yeah,
So yeah.
cool. And arguably, you had one job as a jail to do whatever you do. Okay, so
Yeah.
root, and that was like Etsy or use local. Let's see, it's loading. Oh, now there's a progress bar on GitHub. How sweet. Oh, okay.
Okay.
One
One more
more.
up.
I'm going. I'm going. I don't know if you want video or not. No idea. I feel exposed.
Okay,
User
so
local
it's
Etsy.
local
Let's
Etsy. Okay. What do we have here?
and it's a full path.
Oh,
Okay.
nice. Okay, that's
Nginx.
nice. Let's have a look at the Nginx. So I assume it has like a default Nginx config.
There you go.
Yes. Okay.
Nginx.com.
Which means this will have the proper, information in there, such as, yep, okay, default server, the path, the index. Yeah, this is what I have in my jail that's
So
running
pretty
WordPress. That's
reasonable.
that's very
Okay.
reasonable.
Okay. Let's see. Was that it? And so what stands out for me is that this is all off the shelf, said awk, shell scripts, whatever.
Yes.
Now the format they use is their own thing. It's like, well, yeah, what you're like 90% off the shelf. Let's just do the rest in a shell script in my world. But what do I know? And
Yep, and
some,
that's the minimal,
okay.
PHP FPM conf. Very, very reasonable, absolutely.
Okay. So that answers that. However, it's entirely familiar upstream conventions minus their own uh Bastille file syntax.
Yeah.
Hmm. Okay, noted. Which
So
I'll
like
show once
in case
more.
of jailer file, what I would
Yes.
have is all of those would be in a PK in jailer column build. That's my hook name, right? That's it.
Uh-huh.
That's just the name of a shell script that I will execute when I'm creating the jail. Now, at what I would do as an extra step is a check function that would be like, did PHP get installed? Did MySQL start running? Did Nginx answer on port 80? Which
Ah,
I don't know if
yes,
this template
please.
will actually work because the PHP names have changed, right? We don't have 7.4 anymore. We have 8.3. Now, you are going to ask the question, how are we going to follow up with the naming of such things like Pi 311, PHP, number. And FreeBSD does actually have a solution for that, which is a glob install. So you can use globs and be like PHP, whatever it is, dash DOM, and it will do something with it. Which is how Illyria used to make its appliance back in the day,
Okay,
because the MySQL versions or MariaDB kept changing, and I'm not gonna rewrite the script every time for the honeypots. So instead, we just do a globbing and match it. I'm sure I have the script somewhere. I'll show
cool.
that too in the doc on how to
Okay.
do it properly.
So that's where it's like, I'll just summarize. It's like 90% off the shelf stuff and then plus their own domain specific language. Is
Yeah.
that accurate? Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
very much so. Yeah. And
And
Bastille file is so much nicer than Docker file. Like you understand it.
mhm.
Yeah.
Oh, and this is a Bastille BSD. Okay.
Yes.
Uh, Sample Bastille. Okay. Then moving on. Uh, have you tried this?
No, I only
BSD
heard about it.
install temp jail, where I create a directory and slam it in there. I was I found that my first try had a Clang compiler. I was like, what the heck is that? That doesn't sound minimal. However, it's almost as if it had a brain fart and gave me 500 megs for it's like it chose something or I missed a checkbox or something. So last night I did all off and all on, meaning source, compilers, debug, the works. Now, I would love to do that with auto, but it seems that might be mutually exclusive and you can't like automate this. And it does ask for very few things, which is handy. So it's a quick process. Um, I was pleasantly surprised that there is now a component in BSD install that is called package base, written in Lua, supported by the foundation.
Yeah.
And I was wondering, what are they going to do? Well, this is what they're going to do, and I'm glad they did it. So, given that the installer is a canonical FreeBSD install, we should be using the heck out of it for jails and VMs and all the things we can
Mhm.
imagine. But wow, it's been so oriented to a fresh install on a dedicated piece of hardware that like exports all pools. Step one. It's like, well, no, there are other things on this machine. No, I don't want to do that. So at least it's the syntax to follow.
Yeah.
I was surprised running an sh-x. It like was trying to do a bunch of stuff that's not there. So that's maybe a bug report. And then I think you shared these links on meta packages. And is that for the
Yes.
base
That
OS?
was yes, that was something I asked for last year and Ivy implemented them. Thank you very much.
Did they make it into 15?
They are only in 15. They did not
But
backport it to
no, but in
14
the
because
release, did they make the release as I'm sitting
yes,
here
yes. It
miffed
was
that the
actually it was actually
HPE
released it,
platform is
it was
broken?
it was actually released even before 15 was
Oh,
released.
October. Good. Well, yeah,
Yeah, so it was actually in current in 15.
great. Okay, so that's not telling us, man. Boom. So
So I
that
basically wanted Jan's thing as a meta package.
and did how successful were you in achieving that?
It works as expected.
So it's basically it checks all the check boxes that Jan addressed.
Yes, and a little bit more slash
Great.
less depending on
Okay,
what
sure.
they
Well,
are, but the idea still stands.
okay.
Yeah. Very
Redirected. Da-di-da-di-da.
Very useful for jailer files as well, right? Because if you want to have a jail with like nothing and just a static Go binary, it's like amazing. So minimal, that's, Unix system that,
Yep.
yep. Um, Devel, kernel base.
Beautiful. Exactly. And yeah, we can bicker about the details, but broadly, that is fantastic. And gee, they're
Yeah.
packages. You can just add another one if you're missing one. What a
Yep,
concept.
yep, yep.
So
And with
that's
the PKG create that I just showed, you can just create you know, a, a custom meta package.
okay. I thought I'll just go look around and find some documentation on meta packages.
Okay.
Someone claims that this is a how-to on creating meta packages, and then I was like, well, wait a minute, that's 2009. I suspect things have changed a bit.
I can tell you that. 1 second.
So here you go. Well, then that said, is this? Oh, sorry, I've messed up the scrolling.
No worries. Port name, okay.
Aldous? That it
Okay.
was.
Yeah, that's pretty much accurate. No build, yes. No work sub, yes. Yep. Yeah, this is pretty much it. Yeah,
Great.
it's without,
That is good to hear.
yep, yep, yep. Love it. It's absolutely
So,
correct.
great. Uh, that said, this the answers to the future might be hiding in this and your previous comments and your dynamic generation of
Yeah.
packages, et cetera, et cetera. That is very in base, that is very native, that is very portable, that is very
Testable.
cool, testable, all the things. So, uh, Contranig looks good, looks correct. Okay, so that said, um, if it's not obvious, I would love personally, for my purposes, which might be useful to others, to simply have G native syntax rather than CP user, because even if you were handed this, emailed this text, this syntax, it's like,
Hmm.
what is that, DOS? I mean, what
That's funny.
cmd.com? Like what is that? So I get it, but this that is like 90% of a sysrc command already. So like, yeah, okay, there's no reason to reinvent that wheel. Um, Good point on the globbing for versioning, because it's like maybe some things absolutely don't care, what version of PHP, such that you can very safely chase that.
Hmm.
Is anything beyond the base OS doing this in any way, shape, or form? Is there, and I
Mm,
mean, and then when it comes to an actual repo, do we have the strategy to produce it and easily curatable approaches and blah 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 blah?
I got confused there. What do you mean?
Well, these are the building blocks for like an app repo. How
These
far
are
are
the
we?
building blocks for an app
A
repo.
marketplace, you call
Oh,
that.
I see, I see, I
So
see. So,
how do we get there?
That's a
Well,
good question.
it's
So the Yarn answer would be we don't need jailer file, Bastille file, whatever file. What we need is a file that generates the on-the-fly packages that I just showed. That's what you actually need. And then you just go into the jail and do pkg install, let's say, WordPress dash deployment, and it will install everything, configure everything, run the scripts, call it a day. That would be the actual FreeBSD way of doing it, uh, which I can't believe I'm saying this. I agree with Jan. That's true. That's how we should do it. That's how Solaris people did it, by the way.
did they?
Yes. So like, with their Kickstarter or the other one, that boots over the
Kickstart with Red Hat,
network.
but something like that. Yeah. What about,
Yeah,
yes,
something
I
like
know. Yeah,
that. Yeah.
exactly.
And then the packages with their flavors that they had in IPS is like it's doing the user management, is doing the dependencies and all of that. So that's what Jan would say, and I agree with him. But what I'm afraid of is that most users would, or in this case, devs would not be technically competent to figure all of that package management thing. Because if they did, we wouldn't have Docker in the first place. So
Right. Okay.
yeah.
What, just so we're on the exact same page, you mentioned that as part of the Prometheus or what?
Uh
We looked at that. We looked at that. You did you
Yeah, the
mentioned
ZFS exporter.
there's the SSH. Goody, blah, 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 blah. Okay, use this package to create UCLs and
Yes. So what I would like to have is something
Mhm.
like package file, where someone uses a Docker style syntax to describe their package, and then that thing gets converted into an actual package, not some Bastille specific thing or
Yeah,
jailer
bingo.
specific thing. It's like,
Oh,
here's an actual package that someone can do PKG add.
okay. Uh, is this exporter online or is that purely on your
Yes.
box?
No,
Shoot.
it is GitHub. Let me just shoot the link.
Yeah, shoot the
Uh,
link.
Run the ZFS exporter. Zoom, where are you? There we go. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Um,
So step
okay.
one there, and then think
And
about what you just said
I
about
found the
the.
glob for you.
Oh, great. Yes.
So this is for MariaDB when we were installing our what do you call that? Our honeypots for
Yep.
MySQL. Uh, Let me just paste it in here. Mhm. We might also have some other things.
Ah,
No, we don't. This is all
yes.
what we need. Yeah.
Okay.
It's a bit complicated-ish, but it's very, very, very understandable.
I'd prefer that to just some new way of doing things because it's like, well,
Yeah.
now we have, let's come up with a new standard. Now we have three standards. Now
Yeah.
we have four
No,
standards. Now we have
this is
five
very
standards. Now we
Unix.
have six.
So it does PKG update, of course, and then it gets you can forget about the forward slashes in front of the dollar signs
Oh, the
because this
escapes. Yeah.
is
Yeah.
yeah, this was
Yeah.
running inside of a here
Yep.
doc
Oh,
in our
yep.
honeypot system,
I
so you get
absolutely
yeah.
know. I was working on that
Yeah.
this weekend. Yes.
So let's see what it does. So
Okay.
it does PKG search dash X. The dash X stands for regular expression. So it does like MariaDB whatever dash server, sorted humanly, gets the first one, which is like the largest one, the
Yep.
biggest number one. And then with the cut dash W, again, GNU doesn't have it, is like I'm getting the first field until a white space tab, etc.
Yep.
So which is the
Cool.
actual package name. Now that we have the package name, we just do PKG install.
And dash W is for white space, as you
Dash
mentioned.
W is for white space,
What a
yes.
lovely convention.
Yes, and
Lovely.
I
Okay.
tried adding it into GNU. It was practically hard. I did add it into
Ha.
Illumos, but I swear to God, I can't get it to compile for some
Okay.
reason. So
Gee, I had build issues too.
I
But no, I don't know.
know.
Maybe I'll move to Clang and not Automake or whatever you do. Okay, anyway, so quote yourself, please. You said we, I'll say probably need something uh like a something file, a package file instead of
Package
whatever.
file instead of whatever file.
Excuse me. That basically creates a package. And
Yes.
that's generally handcrafted, hence supported handbook, blah, 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 right?
Yeah. Yeah. What did I want to say about? Because I've tried this as an idea before. Um, Right. It could be a single awk script, like very Daniel-like, right? It could be a
Yeah.
single awk script that parses that PKG file. The PKG file can be, dev-oriented, similar in the Docker file syntax, right? Like Bastille is. But the idea is it parses that and generates an actual package UCL, like we used in ZFS exporter, right? And then from that you create a package. So now your devs are happy and your ops are happy.
Tell our readers and listeners more about package UCL. That is the meta format for packages, or
That's the meta format for package. That's the format for packages
okay.
that the package is created from. In Poudriere, that's generated from a port, and
That
in
sounds
PKG
full
create
circle.
yeah, and in PKG create the user creates it manually. Yes.
Ah. So does a port now use UCL for its syntax.
Yes, when you do make package,
Yeah,
when it creates a package out of a port, that UCL file is actually created.
got it. Is created by the human or it's auto-generated?
Everything is auto-generated. Like that's why most people don't know about the package UCL file format because they
Bingo.
never see it. They see the initial one, which is the port, and they see the final one, which is an actual package. They don't see the middleware.
So make PKG, make package,
Make package.
spelled out.
Yes, package,
Okay.
which actually creates a package.
So instead of handcrafting the port, you could handcraft the UCL and go from there.
Yes, which
That's
is shorter in reality because most ops people don't need a whole port tree to maintain and then merge with
exactly.
FreeBSD ports. Been
Okay.
there, done that for 8 years, not recommended.
Yeah. So inside the Prometheus repo, going full circle recap, so this doesn't get lost and we don't have this conversation the first week of December this year. Because trust me, I've seen in years of calls, we can, okay, right there, huh?
Mhm. And the
Oh,
plist is a plist, as
okay.
in list of files.
Yeah, yeah, no, that's great. Let's look at the
Very
raw.
straightforward.
So I notice you have a specific version of Python. Can that, and FreeBSD for that matter? I trust you'd
So,
have to feed that
mm,
somewhere else?
good question. So the FreeBSD version doesn't have to be specific. It could be star star.
Okay,
Yeah. And the Python version, because of the way that flavors work, has to be kind of specific, right? So I don't need to specify the patch level of Python 3.11, but I do need to specify Python 3.11. Now, to be fair, Python 3.11 and Python 3.12 are actually different packages. So it's not like being lazy here, right? That's kind of the important part in here. The way that Python is built and compiled and everything. That's why.
so
Um,
can be star star. Then when we come to Python, say 3.11, you need
yeah.
I thought there was a more specific one.
So
Maybe not. Let's
I
see.
think technically you can do like Python 3 without the 11, and the origin would be Python, lang Python 3. It could be done that way. That on the Python end, but the
Right.
bottom one wouldn't work because the packages are created out of Python flavors, and those are specific.
Yes.
Also, as a developer, you do want to specify the
Yeah.
specific
Well,
Python
yeah. And there's a
version.
time and place for each. So
Yes. Yeah.
this must be specific, right?
Yes. We're doing very like Python specific topic here, but yeah, that's
Hmm?
the overall idea. Now,
This is a
if I
very
uh
common topic in the whole
yeah,
the libzfs discussion. So no, this is what
yes,
it looks like. And then, oh, look at
yes,
that. Go ahead. You were
yes. Now,
saying.
now, if I were running something like Lua or Rust or Go or
Yep.
typical GCC or anything that has a proper backward compatibility, you wouldn't care at all about the version at that point. You'll be like, just here it is,
Yeah.
and here's the origin.
Wait, awk doesn't have versions? Wait, what?
Who?
Awk. It's a
Oh
joke.
my God. I
Yeah,
mean, we had
exactly.
like what, two versions in
And
50 years?
exactly my point
Yes.
exactly. Okay. So that said, what would an even simpler versionless Hello World look like? Are there any out there, or we have to make one?
There are none. I'll make one.
Okay. Uh, to do simple versionless hello world.ucl package. Verizon. This is terrible. Let's see. Am I spelling this?
Which installs hello.sh, right? Like that's what you want.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah.
As in, or whatever port you can think of that is so non-controversial with like one file, one dependency, one whatever. What's a good one? I was surprised that, for example, GNU Screen is simply like one item, have one package instead of a whole bunch of dependencies.
Yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, hello world, and maybe And where it gets interesting is all that pre-processing, post-processing, and the post
Oh
cleanup,
yeah.
and
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
where the
yeah.
heavy lifting is. And
The message is also very useful, like if you're shipping
oh,
software
absolutely.
for other members of your team,
Yes. And get a
you would be
tattoo of
like,
how to read the message alone with the package
exactly.
command, because I always
Yeah.
forget that. Ah,
PKG info dash D capital.
exactly. D. Like, how about W for white space and D for documentation, maybe?
You're actually very right. Yeah, it was documentation. Yeah. Uh,
D docs. It was just, yeah, anyway. Uh, okay. So cool. Uh, I am very glad you've gone down this road with Jailer file and other things. Let's keep addressing this because the problem's not going away. It's not been solved. I,
may I add also in the
yes, please.
simple versionless hello world package, that's step one. Step two is using package repo to actually ship a repo of
Yeah,
all of these packages. So, because like
bonus.
building them is something, but shipping them is a whole
Make
other
a
story. Yeah.
repo to ship it. Yes, exactly. I will revisit, as I've done, the installer, which
Hmm.
astonishingly, it can create a jail, but it can't create a boot environment. It's like, wait, you're
You're so
99% there.
close.
You're like so close. I'll
Wait,
make it a
wait,
question.
wait. You
You
can.
can.
It's a hidden flag.
Okay.
Um,
Uh,
wait. Where is Illuya stuff? So, 8 years of my life,
yeah,
instead of a
exactly.
failed,
Don't
instead
lose
of a
that
failed,
wisdom.
yeah, instead of a failed business, I can call it,
Research
successful
project.
research. Yeah, exactly.
Yes. Highly funded,
Um,
successful.
Profiler X control. Ah, there we go. Found it.
You're killing
Then
me.
we have,
The suspense
I
is killing me.
can't, I can't believe I have all of these. GrowFS package repo. Um, it has to be in install. Am I right? Where is install? You know what? I'm just gonna read all of these. Password. Nope, that's not the one. I'm sorry. That was dumb. That was dumb. It's not in this one. This is for the user. We need the one for the developers. That would be in. Let me just find it. That's like shorter, right? Uh,
Excuse me.
Install. Release. Found it. Yeah, of course, it's called release. Very BSD like. Um, so the thing is called. This
How is
also
this?
ships with FreeBSD, by the way, just FYI. rc.local, there we go. And in my rc.local, I run dialog, and after dialog, the user runs something, Illuya installer, there we go. And Illuya installer calls BSD install somewhere. There we go. It's called a script, BSD install script.
It is, and I've
I
tinkered with that over
swear
the
to
years, but
God.
that last time I tried it, it still did housekeeping, like export all pools. I was like, well, no, I want to create like a new, VM image or something, or boot environment or
Mhm.
something, not that. So,
Should I
uh,
just share the script? I know I haven't open sourced my company, but I'm down to sharing the script because this is generic. This has nothing to do with the
yeah,
company.
please, either just like you just did 2 seconds ago on your one thing, or you name it.
Yeah, so let's
Uh,
see. Starting Illuya
while you dig that up, I'm
installer.
going to take this call from the client. Just one sec.
There we go, found it. WGL zones, there we go. Here's our doc. Where is Michael? Michael is right here. So BSD install script from ink. Then I can do paste. And finally I can do courier new. There we go. So that should do it. Mhm. Okay. How did I do this?
What did you find?
Pasted it already.
Oh, great. Oh,
Right below there.
oh, in the dock? Oh,
Yeah,
yes. Thank you.
anytime.
Thank you. Okay. Generate source.
That's
And
a
you put it
large
in a boot
UEFI.
environment.
And you put it in a file, and then the file can be put into a boot environment. Now, you have the distributions. This is the, the non-PKG based way, but that can be modified. You don't need any of the ZFS stuff. This is just
Exactly. That's
because
not a thing.
yes. What you do need is at the bottom.
Let me shrink this down
Uh,
to see it. How much further? Oh, hello.
okay, so here's the hack based on my talks with um, who wrote BSD install? Devin Teskey.
Devin Teskey and Nathan Whitehorn,
Yes,
perhaps, and a little Alan Jude for
yes.
ZFS and SFS. Sorry.
So the funny bit is at, you see the second shebang? Yep, right there, right at the top of hostname. Okay,
Yeah.
so when you have two or more enters and then a shebang, those are going to get executed inside of the installation, not outside of it.
So in this, in this block or different
This,
blocks?
yes, yes, exactly.
And where are the
So the
two
one,
shebangs?
no, 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 no,
Where
not two shebangs, two
two,
enters,
two
two
enters.
new lines. Yeah, two new lines, and then shebang bin sh means is going to get executed inside
Oh,
of the installed environment.
you mean this white space?
Yes, it actually checks for two white spaces and
Oh,
then a shebang.
goodness. Oh, that is, uh, okay. This is double white space indicating that it is run in the target environment.
Yes.
Oh, that is interesting. That's very interesting. Okay.
Yeah, we went
Well,
through a lot for that.
is it documented somewhere? I mean,
Oh,
I don't mean this. I mean, like in the manual page.
um, I
Okay.
have no, I
Okay.
know the source code of BSD installed by heart. That's why
Exactly. It's a rite of passage.
yeah, yeah, exactly. I'm not recommended.
I,
But yeah, you get the point.
okay. That said, I will give you the honors.
Please like and subscribe.
Thank you, Anjanae. Catch you soon.